between Hotel Artemis and Ocean's 8, and I haven't seen Ocean's 11, 12, or 13, so I decided on Hotel Artemis. Yeah, I know it's a shocker that there are movies I haven't seen in this world, but you would actually be pretty baffled at the amount of movies I have yet to see. So Hotel Artemis takes place in, I want to say, this kind of future setting. A lot of riots are going on, society, it's kind of shit now. But there's a hotel called Hotel Artemis that is run by Jodie Foster. She's the nurse of this hotel, and here is where criminals can come stay, hide out, and also get treated for any horrible wound or injury they may suffer. And in this hotel, there are rules, like you can't kill on this hotel, no one who doesn't have a membership can enter this hotel, and once the hotel is filled, that's it. Nobody else can be helped. On one side, we have Sterling K. Brown and his brother and this one other guy. They just committed a big robbery, including stealing a pen that was full of these really, really priceless diamonds. They all get wounded by a SWAT team. They end up at the hotel. Jodie Foster's there, and she's gonna take care of them. In particular, Sterling K. Brown's brother, because his brother has suffered some really bad injuries. He now has to go on life support. And also in this hotel, you have Dave Bautista running the security, and some other criminals here and there, played by Sophia Boutella, Charlie Day. And touching on the cast real quick, Jodie Foster, Sterling K. Brown, they are definitely the highlights in this movie. What I like seeing in Jodie Foster, she's someone who does care about helping these people, helping these criminals. For her, it doesn't really matter what they've done or what they plan on doing. She sees people in need, she wants to help them. But she's also aware of the rules in the hotel. She knows that these rules are very strict and they must be obeyed. Sterling K. Brown's story is interesting too. I mean, he's at the hotel with his brother. You see what he's going through. He kind of feels like his younger brother has been holding him back a little bit. He doesn't necessarily want to be a criminal, but a life of crime is the path he's gone down with his brother. And, you know, he can't help but wonder what he could be without him. But then it's later on we get into the official storylines that are in this movie. On one hand, you have Jodie Foster. She sees security footage of this young cop who's begging for help, and she decides, against the rules, to let this cop into this hotel of criminals to help her. This was all after she denied the owner of the hotel himself, played by Jeff Goldblum. She denied him entry because there were no official rooms left. So it's basically her and Dave Bautista trying to tend to this girl cop, trying to hide her from, you know, Jeff Goldblum and Jeff Goldblum's crew. And then you have Sterling K. Brown trying to help his brother, trying to save his brother, but also at the same time, he's trying to avoid anyone finding out that he has these diamonds that he and his brother stole in the beginning of this movie, because it turns out these diamonds belong to Jeff Goldblum. And Jeff Goldblum, being the notorious crime boss that he has always said that anyone who steals from him gets drowned. And nobody is keen on drowning, so it's all about avoiding him at all costs and getting the fuck out of this hotel. And then on the other hand, you have Sophia Boutella, who's there for her own personal business. You can't help but feel she's there to assassinate somebody. You begin to pick up on that. The question is who? And yeah, Charlie Day's in this movie, and he's just playing some sleazebag criminal who's just an asshole. I will say he did a much better job at playing an antagonist in this movie than he did in Pacific Rim Uprising. That's for sure. But I also gotta say, throughout this movie, with all the different storylines going on, the movie does feel a little bit jumbled at times. I mean, the movie is clearly focusing on Jodie Foster and her story because hers is the most personal. I mean, she's going through the loss of her son. Her son allegedly OD'd. And that's why she went into this hotel to, you know, try to continue to help people as best as she can, even though she's struggling with her own issues because of her son's death. That's also why she's helping this cop, because this cop knew her son. She's easily the character you care the most about in this movie. And even with Sterling K. Brown, I can get behind his character. You know, he doesn't want to be held back anymore. He wants to kind of be his own man. Everyone else, though, for me, not as much, because I didn't feel like the movie concentrated on them enough. And even if it did concentrate on them, it didn't really bring out enough for me to really be like, yes, I gotta get behind you. I mean, Sophia Boutella, she's an assassin in this movie, and she is a badass one, I'll give her that. The problem is, I just never cared too much for her character. I've seen her be better in other movies. This is the best I've seen her here. And Dave Bautista, he's fine in this movie as security because, you know, you need this big, strong, you know, former WWE dude to serve as security for a place like this. But you know, I've seen him in Guardians of the Galaxy. I've seen what he's capable of doing as an actor. Here, he does fine, but again, it's not the best I've seen him. And really, for most of the movie, it's just going back and forth between all these different side stories that are happening, and really not a whole lot else happens. There's some pretty decent dialogue in this movie, I will say that much, but There's not really a lot of action. There's not too much tension. I don't need this to be like a glorified action movie or anything like that, but if you're just gonna have the characters talking and just learning about each other, I want the dialogue to really suck me in. You know, I want there to be great writing. But at this point, we finally get to the end of the movie. Dave Bautista and Jodie Foster, they're able to heal the cop. They let her go. At this point, she's also kind of trying to tend to Jeff Goldblum, but along the way, she begins to piece more information that she's gone throughout this movie, and she begins to wonder if her son actually OD'd, because his body was washed up on the ocean, and Jeff Goldblum is known for drowning those who steal from him in the ocean. And yet, Jeff Goldblum does indeed reveal that he killed her son, so, you know, she basically just leaves him there to die until Sofia Boutella shows up, and she assassinates Jeff Goldblum, because that's what she was hired to assassinate. And then from this point forward, it's the final act of the movie, and it's just a big action scene. You have Dave Bautista just throwing down with basically all of Jeff Goldblum's crew, and he's just completely destroying them because, you know, he's Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. Sterling K. Brown is just trying to get out of this hotel because, unfortunately, because the power's been going in and out of the hotel, his brothers unfortunately died. Life support wasn't able to save him. So at this point, he's just trying to escape before anyone can get to him. But of course, Jeff Goldblum's assassins are all coming after him. Charlie Day's also coming after him because of a little confrontation they had earlier in the movie. But he and Sofia Boutella and Jodie Foster, the three of them just kill him by pretty much flattening his head with some medical machine of sorts. I don't remember what it was, but it flattened his fucking head. And then from this point forward, you see Sofia Boutella. She's taking down the rest of the assassins that were sent after them, and she's actually killing all of them pretty handily. Sofia Boutella just knows she's solid at playing an assassin, so that's just what she's rolling with throughout her acting career. And just as they're about to leave, Jodie Foster and Sterling K. Brown, they get confronted by Jeff Goldblum's son. They're able to defeat him. They get out of the hotel. They get to Sterling K. Brown's car, where he's just planning to leave and just live his life. But here we get a moment with Jodie Foster, and she tells Sterling K. Brown's like, you know what? You deserve to go live your life. But this is my life. I know I work in a hotel where I tend to criminals and horrible people, but the world is shit. That hotel's kind of shit too, but I enjoy helping people. I love my job. My job is what I'm good at. I'm gonna stay there. It is a moment you can appreciate with Jodie Foster because even though she tends to criminals throughout the movie, she's a kind-hearted lady who wants to do good, who wants to help. She knows that's what she's good at, and she feels that's what she should stick with. So all in all, I will say, Hotel Artemis is a fine movie. I really like Jodie Foster's character in this movie. Sterling K. Brown's character I also thought was good. The movie has decent dialogue throughout it. I did really like the action towards the end. The problem is not all the characters were as compelling as I would want them to be. The tension in this movie isn't as high as I would want it to be. I definitely appreciated the setting of this hotel, how it's got, you know, this medical center and this hideout for criminals. And in the end, the movie knew what it was. It knew it wasn't this groundbreaking spectacle, and it was something that I enjoyed myself with, but only for one time, and at matinee price. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.